Cheers. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Gooner Gathering. My name is Gooner Lee Means, joined by the Posh's Man Sports Entertainment. Bertie, how are you, sir?
Carry on with your. I'm just fine, my friend. Carry on with your monologue.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's getting a bit icy with me. That's a bit weird.
No,
Okay.
I'm nothing wrong with you. Don't worry. I'm good. Carry on.
All right. So look, it's very clear. It's very obvious why we are here this late Thursday night. So it's very apparent. It's very clear to pretty much anybody who's not living under a rock, right? That Declan Rice is Arsenal's prime target for the summer. And I mean, it's probably fair to say, Bertie, that our fears and your predictions might be proven right, sir. So my little entrance, my little start to the stream there is almost as the thumbnail on the video said, pretty much. Oh no, actually it didn't, because it was this picture of Declan Rice I couldn't get out. But whilst Edu and company may well be enjoying a couple of bevies down the pub, as one might do so on a lovely Thursday evening, it seems like our rivals down the road, Manchester City, look like they're about to hijack this deal, my friend. And the reason that I gave you that message, and the reason why we are live here on YouTube right now. We're here live on YouTube and Twitch, by the way. I couldn't get Twitter to work because there's issues. But anyway, the reason why we're here is to discuss what on earth is going on, and this can't be allowed to happen, Posh, surely.
First of all, it's important that I say that only one person has reported this. Fabrizio's not said anything. David Ornstein's not said anything. But it's looking clearly that once again we have failed to sign our number one priority target. This season we had two main targets: Declan Rice and Moises Caicedo. Those are the main two that we were going to get. We lost Caicedo to Chelsea. We actually spent that money on Kai Havertz, one of Chelsea's worst players from last season and probably the past 3 seasons, bar the Champions League final. We wasted that money. We've given Chelsea that Caicedo money because of that, and now we're going to lose out on our main target in Declan Rice to Man City because 2 weeks, two weeks without any opposition from other teams, 2 weeks, and we did useless negotiations. We offered useless bids that we knew we were going to get rejected. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. Now Man City knew, and now here we go. They're about to hijack it. They're about to make a perfect offer on the table and say, "Here you are. That's what you want. Here we are." They just gave us another head start, and as per, Edu blew it again.
Okay, so as you very rightly mentioned, nothing is absolute concrete yet. But as the guy that kind of runs this YouTube channel, I felt it was quite important for us to come on and have our say here. Anybody who's in the chat, and the numbers are gradually coming up, if you want to come in and have a say, put something in the comments, make sure you give us a like, then I'll start to drop the link and all that sort of thing, and we'll have a bit of a discussion. But at this stage, we are heavily talking about speculation. We're not even 100% sure that the pictures that we've seen of Edu and company being at the pub and whatever and chilling out and having a couple of beers. Thank you very much, Posh. There we go. That's the picture I've seen. King William the Fourth pub. Unfortunately, I don't speak Spanish. Do you?
Look, whilst all I'm saying is, whilst Man City, I have apparently, if these reports are true, whilst they're on the verge of completing the deal for Declan Rice, there is Edu this evening, the transfer guru, as some Arsenal fans called him. Here he is at the pub, drinking beer, whilst Man City are on the verge of hijacking our #1 target.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Absolutely.
on its own is a sackable offence.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when we are potentially looking at the exodus of a couple of our midfield players as well, right? In terms of like Xhaka and Partey, I'm pretty sure you'll probably have your opinion to say on that this evening, if you wish, mate. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're losing out on Declan Rice, and we look set to get rid of Partey or Xhaka, meaning we could potentially, there could be a scenario, we could start next season with El Neni and Fabio Vieira in midfield. Maybe Kai Havertz instead of Vieira. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But
what could possibly go wrong in that situation, sir?
This was our #1. We had to get this transfer window right if we were to go anywhere near challenging for the title again. I can tell you now, if this thing stand the way we are going nowhere near the title next season. We would be lucky to finish 4th.
Okay. So anyone who is watching and you are happy to jump on the stream, let us know in the comments. Make sure you're giving us a like. Then we'll throw the link in the chat. So, again, like we said, we are coming on very much unscripted, and as we always do, in all fairness, Posh, and kind of that's what I love about our channel, mate. We are very organic, and we very much speak on what is on our minds. There is a long way to go in this window. And I'm very careful to be talking about speculation because that's what it is at the moment. But because I'm feeling very cross, and I can see, Posh, I've worked with you for a good year and a bit now. I can see that this isn't the happy Posh Bertie that I was sipping a couple of beers with on Monday night now. So
every season when Eddie was our sporting director, whatever the proper the job is called, every single time we have missed out on our #1 targets. I can name them all. I can name some of them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Caicedo in January, Mudryk. Yes, I know he hasn't done well at Chelsea, but he was still our #1 target. There's lots I could mention, and once again, it's happening again. We're getting transfers hijacked because Edu is once again too slow at negotiating, or I think he's too poor. We had 2 weeks to actually pay the money, actually pay the correct value that West Ham wanted, but instead we lowballed it. Oh, let's get 80 million, 75 million. Oh, no. We said his value is 120 million or 100 million plus a player. Okay, here's 80 million. The only reason Edu got that job was because he was part of the Invincibles team. That is the only reason he got it. And he has proven he has no experience in being a technical director, no experience in negotiating, and it's showing. Once again, he's failed. And if this Declan Rice rumour is true, don't even wait till the end of the week. Sack him. Get rid of him. I've had enough.
Okay. So I'll go in and say here for anyone watching, anyone new, right? And clearly Posh is very upset. I'm very upset myself. Differences between us on a lot of channels is we are going to keep the language barriers into check, if you like. So we're not going to go off on an unnecessary rant. But we'll carry on the discussion. So, okay, so it looks like the competition is out. It's not just that. Let's be absolutely transparent, shall we, of the news that has been going on over the last sort of 12 hours or so. It seems like Man United are putting in a concrete sort of bid as well. So it might well be okay, I'm going to cheer you up a little bit. It might be a bit of a triple threat match. I can't even make him smile with a wrestling reference, ladies and gentlemen.
Because I don't have any time for jokes, because Arsenal are failing us yet again. I don't think the Man United bid is going to be accepted.
No.
I think they are pretty much the outsiders at the moment in that deal. There you go, another wrestling reference for you. See, there we are. But yeah.
Look, you cracked a smile there.
United,
you're breaking your kayfabe, son.
United are very much, they're not the favourites for the Declan Rice deal. It was either us or Man City. And now, because of our terrible negotiating and Edu spending more time at the pub rather than actually getting the third bid over the line, Man City have now got Declan Rice. So there we are. Of course, nothing's confirmed, but
there you go. Let me just make sure this is posting. I think that's probably gone in. Anyone who's watching and wants to have their say, I'm going to open up the phone lines a little bit. Your own Gooner Gathering is launching right now. Anyone who's watching, please join in the discussion. I think it's important for anyone who might be watching to have their say. So while we wait if anyone else is going to join us, Posh. So obviously a lot of emotion built up right now. Rice obviously is an outstanding midfield target. Obviously, he is a fantastic number 6, perhaps, in terms of defensive midfield. He can do better than that. In fact, he can probably play in central midfield, and he has a lot of attributes. But there are other targets, of course. Maybe we might differ, and that's not necessarily unusual for our dynamic. So let's talk about it. Obviously, it seems like Havertz looks like he's set for a medical over the weekend, and that seems like it's on the way. Now, you might not necessarily agree, might not necessarily have the positive opinion of Havertz that I might do. So I'd like you to go ahead and talk about Havertz just for a minute, and then I'll have my say as well.
Okay, no, I'm not impressed with that signing at all. I think most Arsenal fans aren't impressed. There was some Arsenal fan on Twitter saying that he reminds them of Dennis Bergkamp. I don't know who you are, but you are one of the most deluded people I've ever come across. He's not like that at all. Havertz he's not. He had his time at Chelsea, 3 years. The only achievement he did was score 1 goal in the Champions League final. Yes, that's very good. But apart from that, he has not done much at all.
He has had his moments in going along his career, and particularly his time in Germany, like we spoke about the other day. And I get the frustration here. I really do. But then I want to say that if we are in the process of looking at replacing Xhaka, who over the last season had been operating in that sort of almost attacking kind of midfield position, it feels to me like look. He wouldn't be going for Havertz if he didn't believe in him. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that and
no, it's because we couldn't get Caicedo, so we might as well do our usual tactic of going to Chelsea cast-offs again.
All right. So you've got to remember it is Mikel Arteta who is the top of the tree in terms of the management structure. Obviously, Edu is the director of football, who will be in charge of a lot of the negotiations, etc. So if, and this is a big if, that deal doesn't play out, who does it go on? It goes on Arteta, right?
Well, there we go.
Exactly, right? So look, it's one that's going to divide a lot of opinions, and a lot of us would have had differing opinions. Sorry, I'll go to you in a second. When it comes to other signings as well, right? I know you had your reservations when Jorginho. I'm not going to compare the two. Very, very different players. I know. Don't get on my back. Right, but Jorginho came into us. He actually did a decent job for the time he came in and played minutes. I don't think he's necessarily there as a part of that starting 11. He'll be there for cover. I think a little bit of experience cover. Perhaps it needed experience cover, particularly if Xhaka does, as we probably expect. I don't think it's going to play out too long. I think the Xhaka situation will be done probably within the week, I would imagine, because I would think he probably want to get himself settled. Obviously, Leverkusen is what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. So there you are. I mean, and it's very easy for us as fans to overreact or give our opinion. That's one of my beliefs of this channel, is for anybody who watches it, everyone who contributes to it, to have their opinion. So if we were to replace, and obviously this is very, very much speculation at the moment, if Xhaka goes out to be replaced by Havertz, which looks like it's the case, your reaction to that would be what?
If Havertz replaces Xhaka,
Mm-hmm.
then they're different types of players. It won't work. Havertz plays in a different position than Xhaka. Xhaka's more of a central midfielder. Havertz is more attacking.
Well, where has Xhaka been playing in the last season?
Box to box.
Okay, so and we kind of spoke the other day about potentially a change of formation as well, didn't we? In terms of potentially three centre halves, potentially wing backs, potentially a change of way of we might be playing. But I mean, again, I'm trying to keep as level-headed as I can, because that's kind of my job as the host of this broadcast. But so basically, if this is the situation we are left with, if Havertz comes in, if we can't get hold of Rice, is there any other options that you would think might be equating to that sort of caliber of player?
I can't think of anything at the moment. I think we are linked with Lavia from Southampton, but if Partey goes and we have to rely on a 19-year-old leading our midfield, that's not going to work. That's not going to be right. And already, I just think this transfer window. I said this transfer window had to work, and it's on course of being the worst transfer window I have seen probably ever at Arsenal in my lifetime. Well, since I started supporting Arsenal. Maybe that's an exaggeration. No, I tell you, that's a lie. 2013, when we bought Sonogo, I know Ozil ended up being a panic buy, and not panic buy. It ended up being a good signing for the first season, but maybe that was the worst at that time. But it's one of the worst, in my opinion. And at this point in time, I don't have any hopes of us challenging for the title. You said that the bad transfers go on Arteta. Edu's the one responsible for trying to get the deal done, and he hasn't done that with Declan Rice. He pulled off these ridiculous very low bids that were instantly rejected, and now he's paying the price for it. Man City, it's worth noting, Newcastle have signing a player. I can't remember his name, but he looks very good. It was just like that. It took only a few days. Because why? Because they put bids in, the proper bid in, the proper amount of money that they asked for in. That AC Milan, I think it was, who's that player asked for.
So to play devil's advocate,
are doing anything that we're failing to do.
To play devil's advocate with you, the fact they can't actually name the player might say the caliber of it.
It was Tonali, I think it was. It was. Let me find his. Because I know.
Absolutely, you carry on doing your search, mate, and I'm only playing devil's advocate with you.
No, I understand.
I'm not telling you anything you don't already know.
Yeah, full agreement reached between AC Milan and Newcastle for Sandro Tonali after new meeting in Milan. So there you go. It just takes it's so quick for other teams to sign players because they have people that know what they're doing.
Or is it that Newcastle, being that they might be the dark horses of the next season,
at this rate, they're going further in the Champions League than us.
Oh, that is a big shout from you, my friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, that's come from your mouth. That's not come from mine. But it's a big shout. Listen, yeah. I understand frustration. I personally, Newcastle would have been extremely pleased to be amongst the contenders. I think, will they not have to have a qualifying round before they get into the main stages of that competition?
They don't do that anymore. I think they stopped that a few years ago. I think when you finish,
I don't know for fourth. I think there may be a qualifying round. I think there might be.
I don't think there is. Because
we'll look at that. We'll look at that because
I actually looked it up to see, because I had this thing of, could Arsenal finish as low as fourth last season if it went really downhill? And I looked at the Champions League past few seasons to see who played who in the potential qualifiers. There were no Premier League teams to be seen. All the teams went straight in the group stage. So I think that the qualifying round isn't there anymore.
I mean, that might depend, just for argument's sake, all right? Just for argument's sake, because I don't think Newcastle have played European football. I'm just saying this out of the top of my head, all right? But I don't think they have played European football in a number of years. So there may be it depends on how they're ranked regarding UEFA, I think. May be the case. We will know more about that. We will know more about that in the next couple of weeks, I am pretty sure. But I suppose we should probably go back to the main story before we wrap up, because I don't want to keep you very late on this Thursday night, Posh. Because I really, the reason why I sort of called us on stream this evening was to discuss the potential of Declan Rice being hijacked. Personally, and I've not really had, because I'm using my role as host here, I've not really had too much to say, because I wanted to give my broadcast partner every opportunity to say what he wanted to say.
Not every opportunity, because our channel will get taken down if I went full throttle. So don't.
Well, look, if you want me to cut the YouTube broadcast, I'll do it. But even so, right? Because I know we'll have differing opinions, and that's kind of, as we discussed the other day, my friend. I think that's the reason why we are working as a channel. But look, I'm still look. I might come out of this in the next, say, 24, 48 hours, looking like the biggest idiot on the internet, who might be, and I try to keep as articulate as I can. I try to keep My persona is that smiley, happy, goonerly mood where you can find me here with a smile on my face all the time, right? And anyone, you know what to expect from me, and I'm still relatively hopeful that this isn't as doomsday as it might seem, right? Um, my understanding with Declan Rice is that he doesn't want to leave London. As I said to you the other day on our live stream. Now,
it's not up to the player,
and that's exactly what I was going to say to you. It's make sure what we need to make sure is that bid for the West Ham skipper is right. We need to make sure it is to their liking, so we can get this over the line. Now, I would think perhaps it could even happen over the next couple of days, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't think this is gonna, this whatever the outcome is going to be, I think it's going to be concluded quite soon. I don't think this is going to run and run and run, because he's such a quality player. He's had such a long season. He's not going to want to have this hanging over his head over the whole summer. I'm pretty sure wherever Declan Rice ends up, he will want his future to be sorted out way before the pre-season starts. Do you agree with me on that?
Absolutely. I'm seeing people saying that none of that, something doesn't add up with what we've heard tonight.
Okay.
Because you've had so the person Jacob Steinberg, who is one of the sources, the ITK
Sky Germany, right?
Whatever they're called.
I think he's from Sky Germany, right?
Did an article saying Declan Rice remains keen on joining Arsenal despite talk of a bid from Man City. It's up to Arsenal to pay the fee that West Ham want, which could potentially happen. The expectation remains Rice will join Arsenal for a fee that could top 100 million once add-ons are taken into account. Then we got DiMarzio saying Rice is very close to joining Man City. Agreements are being made. Which one is telling the truth?
Well, I think it's probably fair to say that it seems to me like this story is escalating to a pace where its conclusion will probably end up finalising over the weekend. I think that's probably right to say, because it's had so much media attention, because it's got to the likes of myself and you, it's got to everybody in the internet community. That's the very reason I thought it'd be a good idea for us to come and have our say on our wonderful channel, to be fair. So I think with all that being said, Posh, I think we've both had our opinions. I think we've both had everything that we want to say off our chest. I don't really want this to go very long tonight, so unless there's anything else you want to say, we could wrap this up about now if you like.
No, I think I've said what I have wanted to say, other than if somehow the Declan Rice deal to us does happen and he's an Arsenal player, I am not going to forget the hell we've been through in terms of all the negotiating process and how we were so close to it going the other way, and how we definitely need to learn from that.
Yeah.
But if he ends up, and I think this is going to be the case, he ends up being a Man City player after being convincing so many fans, but for months, that he's going to be an Arsenal player. I'm sorry, but that questions do need to be asked, and it has to result in a change in the board or in the Edu. Really, it's just proven he's completely out of his depth.
Or the structure of the club as a whole,
right?
Yeah. So we might agree on that point, but as it stands on this late Thursday evening, ladies and gentlemen, what we've been talking about for the last half hour or so, it's purely reactionary on seeing things that we've seen on Twitter. I'm aware that some of it might not be verified. So we will see over the next couple of days how all this ends up.
Yeah.
And before we head off, I'll do our normal sign off. There are all our social media. Posh, would you like to do your thing?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Posh Bertie. I'm on Instagram at Bertie Wanless.
Thank you very much, sir. You can find me at Goonly Mead. You can find all of us at Goon the Gathering. You can find our TikTok channel at the same handle, which is at Goon the Gathering. As and when anything breaks, certainly I'm away from my day job for the next 3 days. Yeah. So I will be around. I'm pretty sure if anything breaks when I'm not available, one of my team will be about to tell you what's going on. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your evenings. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.